I want to talk about shadows, specifically my shadows. A shadow is like a blind spot that we have. Shadow, it's like something we don't really see. It's sort of murky. It's not really in our awareness. Blind spot, it's like we just don't really see it. It's there, but it's sort of stuffed away. And a shadow is like a belief that we have, that we've learned, that says that a particular way of being isn't good, it's bad. And we don't like to see it in ourselves, certainly. That's why it's in the shadows. And what happens is we'll be going through our day and we'll get triggered by something. We'll see something that another person is doing and we'll go, oh, that's bad. They shouldn't be doing that. And we project our shadow onto them. We project these things that we're trying to hold down in ourselves unconsciously onto the person because it's something that we believe isn't good. And I'm going to give an example. So I am a member of a particular organization, and there was a particular leader of this particular organization that I thought was sort of self-important. I judged this person as being like a peacock. That was my description. And that he, liked to strut and show his feathers, and that he needed all of this feeling of importance. That was my projection onto him. And I went through this moment of awareness where like enlightenment, where I thought, okay, I can change my attitude and I can meet him in love and give him what I think he needs, that feeling of importance, and I can just such such a funny feeling of, I guess, again, feeling better myself, that I can do this for another person, that I'm so much better. And it turns out that when it really comes down to it, as I start looking at my shadows, that I'm the peacock. That's my shadow, is that I need to feel important. And I go out there strutting my feathers, and somehow I feel like that's not a good thing, that's bad. And so I stuff that away, that's my blind spot. And yet I'm out there in the world doing this, I'm just not fully aware that that's what I'm doing. And because I judge that as being not a good thing, somehow I've been taught that that's not a good thing, and yet I still feel like it's something I need to do. All this subconscious kind of stuff going on. And so when I see it in this other person, I project it onto them and say, oh, they're bad, they're being a peacock. So if I'm really enlightened, what I need to do is show love, meet that person in love, yes. I can give them what they need and not judge them, but really I need to meet myself in love. I need to give myself a break and say, hey, I guess I like being a peacock. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe I feel like I need to be important. And knowing that, I can be gentle and kind with myself. I can make adjustments so that I'm not being obnoxious and that, but maybe it's not so bad. And also I can understand other people who may feel like they want to feel important, and I can meet them in love. So that's a shadow. It's something where it's not necessarily a bad thing, and I can make my shadow a friend by adjusting how I look at it, and treating people better, not judging them, and realizing that this is really something in myself that is the issue, and maybe I'm not so bad either. And I can have compassion. It becomes my ally if I realize that this is what's going on. I can have compassion. I can have empathy for people. I can be less judgmental. And so these shadows, again, are aspects of ourselves that we are kind of unconscious about. We push away into the shadows, into this blind spot, and then people come along and we project onto them our shadow. So, yes, I'm a peacock, and that's my shadow, and I'm learning to become friends with that particular shadow.